Trump gave an invitation, President Biden just said, to Putin to invade some of our allies, NATO's allies. The whole world heard it. The worst thing is he means it. What did you think of that messaging from the current president?
I mean, Putin decided to invade under President Bush, under President Obama, and under President Biden, not under President Trump. So if anybody has given Putin an invitation, I have detailed on my website of Polaris National Security 15 to 20 different policy failures by the Biden administration and by Biden himself that led to Putin's invasion. Don't forget the minor incursion gaffe from President Biden. Don't forget, they're the ones who stopped the sanctions on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline that we were pursuing in the Trump administration. They're the ones who weren't enforcing sanctions on Iran. And Iran, by the way, has continued to supply Russia with lethal weaponry like drones, like now reportedly more ammunition, even ballistic missiles. So his policy towards Putin, towards Russia, has utterly failed, and there are thousands and thousands of dead Ukrainians because of President Biden's policy and his deterrence failure. So spare me from somebody who just saw the worst war on European soil since World War II break out on their watch. I'll take lectures from somebody else.
So, Morgan, let me just ask you a little bit more about that, because you were with the administration when President Trump delivered that message to NATO members. Mike Pompeo was the Secretary of State. You folks were in all those meetings, or at least on the periphery of them.
Yeah.
I remember back in that time when Trump was demanding that NATO countries pony up 2% of their GDP for defense. This idea that Trump said in a NATO meeting or to NATO members that, you know, if you don't pay your money, I don't care what Russia does, they can do whatever the hell they want to you because you're not paying up. How did that, I mean, obviously that was talked about back then. What was the mood in the room?
Well, I wasn't in the room when he said that, but I was constantly at NATO in Brussels with Secretary Mike Pompeo. And you've seen nobody be more fiercely defensive of the Ukrainians than Secretary Pompeo. Listen, everybody gets, this is baffling to me. Everyone around the world, especially the Europeans, get tongue-twisted and get tied up over things that President Trump says that they doesn't like how he says it. But I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, coming live to you right now from here. If I leave my house or I'm in my home studio and go out on the street here in Nashville, Tennessee, and ask if my neighbors, if the Europeans should pay their fair share in NATO, they would all say yes, no matter what their political affiliation is. This is common sense, folks, just common sense.